Okay, today we're going to do some trigonometry notes. These are the notes to go with the assignment that you are about to do. So what I'd first like you to do is to look at what I have here. 13 pi over 12, and you're to change it from radians to degrees or degrees to radians, either way. Okay, whichever way I do it, I'm going to use a relationship. And that relationship is that 180 degrees is equal to pi. Pi is equal to 180 degrees. I will use one of these two for every one of these three problems here, and that's what I'm going to multiply by. Degrees will not have a pi symbol in it. Radians will, most of the time. So this has a pi symbol, so I want to change it from radians to degrees. So I need my pi's to cancel. Since the pi is on top, I need it to be on bottom. So I'm going to use this ratio of 180 over pi. Well, you'll notice that I have a pi on top and a pi on bottom, so those will cancel out. Now, using my calculator, I'm going to multiply 13 times 180, and it gives me 2340 divided by 12, and when I divide by 12 in my calculator, I get 195 degrees. And that's all I have to do. My next problem, number 2, is in degrees. Now my answer is, my problem here is negative, so my answer will be negative. But since this has no degrees, I need my degrees to cancel. This is 180 degrees is equal to pi, and pi equals 180 degrees. So I'm going to multiply this one by pi over 180 degrees. Then my degrees will cancel out. Now, I have negative 150 pi over 180. Now, in my calculator, I am merely going to put negative 150 divided by by 180. Math, enter. And I get negative 56. Negative 56. Now, I need my pi, and I'm going to put it on top. So negative... Whoops, sorry, I went off the screen. Negative 5 pi over 6. Negative 5 pi over 6. Now I'm going to do 2 more of these very quickly to show you again. I have a pi in this problem, so I need the pi to be on bottom so that it will cancel out. Cancel, cancel. So now I'm going to multiply 3 times 180 divided by 4. 135. Now notice this has a negative, so my answer is going to be negative 135 degrees. Negative 135 degrees. So my next problem, 605 degrees, so I need the degrees to cancel, so I need the pi on top and the degrees on bottom so that those will cancel out. So I have 605 pi over 180. Well, the 605 over 180 obviously will need to be reduced. So let's clear my calculator. And I'm going to type in 605 divided by 180. Enter, math, enter, enter. And this reduces to 121 over 36. Now I mustn't forget my pi. So that goes on top, and that's my answer. This is how you will do the first 10 of the problems on your assignment. If you want to pause and do those now, that would be great. The next set of problems that you have deal with the trig functions. Sine, cosine, tangent are the ones that I want you to focus on. So I'm going to come over here to the side, and I'm going to rewrite these. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent, opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent. Now we need to remember these 3 trig functions. They're based on the sides of the triangle. So let's come back to my first problem here. This is the angle, so I'm going to mark it. Now I'm going to label my sides. This side is opposite. This side is adjacent. Which trig function is opposite and adjacent? Well, it is tangent. So tangent of 43 degrees is equal to opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 9. My goal is to get x by itself, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 9, and I'll cancel my 9. Equals. Now, when you go to type this in your calculator, please go to Mode and make sure that degrees is highlighted. If it is not, your answer will be wrong. Again, go to Mode and make sure that degree is highlighted. So, I have 9 times the tangent of 43 degrees. Enter. And my answer is 8.39. It says to round to the nearest tenth. So the 9 tells my 3 to go up to a 4. So 8.4 would be my opposite side. 8.4. So now let's do this next one. Again, I'm going to mark the angle that I have and label the two sides. This side is the hypotenuse. This side is adjacent. Well, opposite and adjacent, or adjacent and opposite, is cosine. So the cosine of 42 degrees is equal to adjacent, 4.1 over the hypotenuse x. I'm going to put that over 1, and I'm going to cross multiply. So x times the cosine of 42 degrees is equal to 1 times 4.1. Divide by the cosine of 42 degrees. Because remember, my goal is to get x by itself. So now I'm going to put that into my calculator. 4.1 divided by the cosine of 42 degrees. Close my parenthesis. 5.51. Again, to the nearest tenth, 5.5. So x is 5.5. That's how I go about solving my problem. Now you have 5 of these to solve and use. Please make sure that you're careful and choose the correct trig function to use. Sine, opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent, opposite over adjacent. If you want to stop and take a moment to do the next 5, that's wonderful. I'll wait just a second, and then I will begin the last section that you are going to be doing today. Finding the measure of the angle. So I'm going to mark the angle where my theta is, and mark the two sides. Well, this side is opposite, and this side is my adjacent side. Well, the trig function that is opposite and adjacent is tangent. So the tangent of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Now, since I'm finding the angle, I'm going to use the inverse tangent. Now remember, inverse tangent is above tangent. On mine it's written in yellow. On yours it's written in blue. So we will use second and tangent. Second and tangent. And it brings up the tangent, the inverse tangent. And I'll put in 3/5 and enter. And I get 30.9. Well, it says to the nearest tenth. Well, the 6 tells my 9 to go up. So this is going up to 31 degrees. 31 degrees. Again, you need to be certain that your calculator is in degrees and not radians. Okay, so for our last problem here, again, I'm going to mark my angle. Now from this angle, I look through. That's my opposite side. Across from the right angle is my hypotenuse, which I don't have marked. So that leaves this side to be adjacent. Again, opposite and adjacent is tangent. So the tangent of theta is equal to 11 over 14. So to find my angle, I need to do inverse tangent. of 11/14. Again, go to your calculator to do inverse tangent. Slow that down a little bit. Inverse tangent, second, and tangent. Excuse me. And type in 11 divided by 14. Close your parenthesis. Enter. And again, it says to the nearest tenth, so the 5 is going to tell my 1 to go up to a 2. So 38.2 degrees. So theta is equal to 38.2 degrees. Your last 5 problems are just like these. Make sure that you are exceedingly careful on these bottom. To find the angle, you'll need to use inverse function. Both of mine turned out to be tangent. Yours could be sine, cosine. But these are your notes. Please use this to work the assignment that you have. You have 20 questions, I believe. You have 10 of the first type, 5 and 5. Have a good day.